Hello everyone, welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura and today I will be making soap scented with sweater weather. So I'm just making sure that all my chats are working. This should just take a moment. We will also cut the soap that we made last time, which was the balsam cedar. Alright, so hi Stacy, welcome. I also have some new gloves. So unfortunately the ones that I usually get, the clear ones, or translucent or whatever, they were not available. Oh, let me turn this fan off real quick. Okay. So the gloves that I was wearing, they were not available. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with these blue ones, which I have to put on. So I apologize for that. Hopefully, it doesn't make it difficult to see what I'm doing. All right. This should just take a minute here. And I need another container to mix. I'll get this one. We're going to do a 2-color design today. Okay. We'll just use this glass one. Okay, but first we have to cut this soap that we made last time. And I wanted to show you guys the soap dough. So this was the leftover batter, and I decided to put it in a little baggie. And it did firm up, but it's soft. You can squish it. I don't know if you can see these dents that my fingers are leaving in there. So see, I'll push down. See that indentation? So this soap dough turned out nice. I'm going to leave it in the bag because every time you open it and expose it to air, it dries out a little bit. And I want this to stay nice and pliable. And I have a couple of ideas on how to use that later. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, okay, so Wanda went to her mom's. Well, I hope everything's okay. All right. So let's go ahead and cut this one. This was the balsam cedar we made last time. It smells so good. It smells so clean, so fresh. It's got such a good smell. And I'm not typically the type of person who just likes the smell of pine just for the sake of, smelling like pine. But this one smells really, really, really good. So there's something about this one. I keep getting it. Every time I order some fragrances, if I want holiday fragrances, this is one I keep ordering because there's something about it that I really like. I think the camera is trying to focus on my gloves. Why are you doing this, camera? Down here. Okay, I think that's in focus. We'll just have to go with it. I'm going to go ahead and slice this into bars. And this one is still really, really soft. I think it's from the extra olive oil that I added. So this is going to take a little while to firm up, but that's fine. I'll take out the middle one. And there's the swirl. I really like this, actually. It's not too much. Sometimes when I do my swirls, I end up adding so much color, and I kind of like how this is more of an accent. It's kind of a fun swirl. It looks like an octopus. It's kind of cool. All right, let's check this one. So this is the other side of that first bar. And here's the side. I probably could have swirled it more, but I like the clear definition between the two colors. And there's how the top looks. No, the camera's not going to focus on it. Okay, here's the last one. So this is the side we didn't see. And this is a mirror to that octopus side from the first bar. This looks really good. Smells really good. I'm really happy with this. I love the smell. And then here are the end pieces that we will cut up into samples. It looks really cool. Thank you, Stacy. I'm just glad it turned out, honestly. Just like every other time when I make soap, you just never know what the design is going to look like. So it's always a risk, You might get one that you don't like. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put these on the shelf. And that way they can start curing. These should be ready in time for the holidays. Oh, this one's so good. This would even just be good to leave out just because it'll smell good. It'll make the bathroom smell like Christmas. Oh, it smells so good. It's like having a Christmas tree, but not. It doesn't smell super green. Like it doesn't have those springtime green scents that a lot of botanicals have. It's not like that. It's not really herbal. I mean, it kind of is, but not in. It just doesn't smell green, is what I'm trying to say. It like green as in like that fresh green note that you get in a lot of springtime um, fragrances. It's not like that at all. It's completely different. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clean this off really quick. We just wipe the wires down, get the soap off of it, and wipe this white, I don't know what you call this, platform, I guess. I wipe that off, get all the soap off. I'm going to put it on the shelf, and then I'll be right back, and we'll start making the other soap. I've got a new system here, so I got to move this plastic out of the way. I'm covering the shelf now with plastic to keep dust off of it. Means I have to do a little less dusting. So, okay. I'll get all these soap crumbs off the table. And I have like a little trash bag that I keep next to the table here so that I can just put everything straight into the trash. All right, done. All right, so for this soap, here's the oils. I'll go ahead and cover this. I think it's had plenty of time to cool off. That feels really good. Oh, I better put the soap dough back also. Well, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to leave it out because I have an idea I don't want to forget. Okay. All right. I think it's going to be fun. I have another fragrance that I haven't used yet that I think will go good with that one. And also let me know if you're having any trouble hearing me or anything. If I'm like delayed or anything like that. I'm going to look up something. I want to look up the notes to describe this fragrance. Because, as you know, I can explain things, but that's woefully insufficient. So, okay. Here's the lye water. Okay, so this fragrance that I wanna use, I'll show you guys. Okay, this is called Sweater Weather. I just bought one like tester size to see how it does in the soap. Oh, you hear me just fine? Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so Sweater Weather. It has notes of fresh sage, juniper berry, and eucalyptus, but it's not heavy on the eucalyptus. It's more, I would say more of the juniper berry, and then the sage maybe. But it smells really, really, really good. It's very clean smelling. This is a really good scent for um, how do I put it? Like if you want to get soap for somebody but you don't know what kind of scents they would like, this isn't really strong in any one. Like it's not really overpoweringly floral. It's not overpoweringly like green or um, there's no like strong spice notes. There's nothing in it that would be offensive to people who don't like those fragrances. And we're going to be testing it in the soap. So of course we don't know how this is going to behave. So I'm going to probably do the coloring first and then put the fragrance in last. So I'm going to use two different colors. First, we're going to use this white. And I'm just making sure it's mixed up really, really well. Okay. And then the other one I want to use is this is called Blue Vibrance by Nurture Soap. And the titanium dioxide, which is the white, and this blue vibrance for the blue from Nurture Soap. I have links for that. Nurture Soap sells both of them, and you can get it in the link down below. It's an affiliate link, but it doesn't cost anything to order in case you guys want to try those colors. And what I'm going to do is mute down that blue because I wanted something that looked really like cool, like had a cool temperature to it, but not but not the green because we just did the green. And I wanted this to be something that, since it's not a super Christmassy scent, I wanted it to be more like a winter scent. And I think the blue and white would be really good for that. And I'm going to take my headset off real quick to put this face shield on. Oh, and also, stay till the end. I have something cool to show you guys. So yeah, definitely stay until the end, and you'll get to see. Okay, I'm just double checking. Okay, everything looks good on this end. All right, so I'm going to set this aside for now, and set this aside. I'm looking for this. Okay. I like to attach it last because if I leave it, I mean, the chance of like you getting hurt by a stick blender is very, very minimal. But like as an extra precaution, I usually keep these two pieces disconnected like this until I go to use it. That way, if I accidentally press the button, I don't risk like cutting myself. That's why I take it apart before I clean it. Also, yeah, a teaser. Yeah, I know, right? I want to explain it, but I also want to focus on the soap. So, alas, I have to leave it as a teaser. Okay, so here is the light water going in, and this light water has sea salt already melted into it. I like to do that with the sea salt so that for people who don't like the scratchy salt that is mixed into like salt bars, it's not really scratchy, but for people who have really, really sensitive skin, it can feel kind of abrasive. And that's why I melt it when I put it in my soaps. So, except for the salt bars, like the specifically sea salt bars that are just, that have tons and tons of salt, that's a little different. Okay, we're gonna barely mix this because we're gonna have to do some more mixing with the colors and the fragrance. And I don't know if this will accelerate. This fragrance is from Wellington Fragrance, and I love their fragrances. I almost always have an excellent experience soaping with them, but you have to be aware that like they aren't really a soap company first. They're more of like a candle company, I think. That's what most of their stuff is geared towards. So you can get a lot of like wax and candle molds and things like that from them. But their fragrances are skin safe. So that's why I'm able to use them. And they have the best dupes and other things like that. So I really, really like them for that. But because they aren't a soap company, like they don't specifically like focus on soapers. They don't list any soaping notes, so you don't know how the fragrances are going to behave in soap. So you have to do all the testing yourself, and I'm totally fine doing that. Like it doesn't bother me, even if the soap turns into soap on a stick. I can find a use for it, but that's also why I do smaller batches too. Is um I don't want to make 25 pounds of soap that turns rock solid in 2 seconds. Unless I know beforehand it's going to do that. Like all the florals will do that, so I have to go really slow with those. I'm stepping away for a second because I needed something. Oh, the swirls tool, that's right. Oh yeah, and the fork. I was going to do something with the fork. Alright, here's a swirl tool. I'm going to do a similar swirl. I think what I'll do for these Christmas ones is give them kind of a similar design so that they'll look good in like a set. So if somebody wants more than one bar of soap, or if they want to give them as a gift, they'll kind of look nice sitting next to each other. Alright, here's a swirl tool. Here's my +1 fork of texture. I think what we'll do, since it's called sweater weather, we'll give it kind of like a, I don't know, design on the top that looks textured like fabric or something. Okay, this is actually holding together pretty good. So let's do the colors first. Here's the blue. And I'm going to actually use this fork to mix this in. I have a tiny, what do you call those things? A whisk, a teeny tiny whisk that you've seen me use before. And I normally use that, but I just made some soap for a wholesale order last night, and I forgot to wash it. So it's sitting with sitting next to the sink. So I need to wash that. But it got washed a bunch of other stuff and missed the whisk. Okay, so right now this is a pretty, like, this is called Blue Vibrance. That was just a little bit of blue, and you can see how nice and bright this is. It's almost the same. Actually, it's brighter. It's a bolder and brighter color than my gloves. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but it's very, very pretty. But I want more of like a frosty, like wintry look. And even though this would work for that, I kind of want something, kind of want this knocked down a peg or two. So what I'm going to do is just, and that was why, I mean, I knew I was going to have to do this. So that was part of the reason why I had the white out. But I'm going to make the main part of the soap white anyway. So yeah. And I think for the next soap, I'm going to start with a little and go from there, because this will really, yep, that's much better. Oh, okay, that's more like what I was looking for. Okay, so for the next one, I have two other fragrances I want to try. I got small bottles again so we could try them. One is called Urban Winter, and the other one is called Tis the Season. And I will be describing what those smell like when I do those videos. And I want to do Victorian Christmas because that's every year, that's like a favorite. Everybody loves that fragrance. It smells so like comforting and so wonderful. So I can't wait to do that. And the Amazon order, the one that took months and months, it finally came. The new one that I reordered anyway did. So I can now finally put the yeah, make it look like yarn, Stacy. Yeah, I'm going to try to make the top. I don't want to do like a ball of yarn like I did last time. But I'm going to do like a yeah, kind of like make it look like it was knitted, or I don't know, something like a woven pattern maybe. We'll see. Maybe I could do that weird like basket weave top like I did that one time. Anyway, but yeah, I got the jars, the sprinkle jars for the carpet sprinkles. I want to do lavender. I think that's a really good, like, relaxing fragrance. I want another one that's like really, really clean smelling. I was thinking maybe pine, because that would be really good, especially this time of year. Um, to have your carpet smell kind of like the Christmas tree a little bit. I think that way it'd be like less of a clash of scents. And okay, I'm gonna put a lot of white in this because I want this to be white and not like a light tan. And let's see, I'm gonna mix it by hand first. Oh, I better get the mold ready. Here's the mold. And I'm talking way too much, and this is gonna start setting up on me, so I need to stop talking. Okay, that's a really good white. But I'm gonna stick blend it, because typically the white just seems to do better. Even if I've pre-mixed it in oil like I did. Okay. No. Alright, that's better. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and mix in the fragrance. We'll do most of it in here, a little bit in the blue, and the rest. This one smells so nice. This is actually something that's very wearable, I think, in my completely unbiased and humble opinion. Just kidding. But yeah, it does smell very wearable. Maybe it's one that I can try making into a roll-on and see if I like it. I don't know. Because it definitely has very like fall and winter like feel to it, but not Christmassy, if that makes sense. Okay, let's put this here. Okay, I think what we will do is I'll go ahead and pour this in here. And you know what? I forgot. Let me grab one more thing. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. And then I'm going to pour the blue in. But I kind of want to put it on, like, all onto one side, if that makes sense. So I take this rag, well, soaping towel, I guess it's not really a rag. We'll set it like this, up on end. I'm going to start out by pouring some of this blue first. And then the white. And then I'll do the rest of the blue. And then hopefully we'll get kind of a neat pattern on the top when I put in the, what do you call when I do the design on the top. Okay. All right, and we'll lower this down. Okay. And then we'll top it off with some more white after I get the rest of this blue. Okay. It's looking good so far. I haven't noticed any like major acceleration, and at least not on the blue. Now the blue had the least amount of mixing, so out of the two colors, I would expect this one to behave the most. But even the white is still really fluid, actually, even with the titanium dioxide and everything else in there, which usually speeds up trace a little bit. So this is a good one. A good one to soap with. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here and swirl this. All right, we'll let all that drip out. Okay, put a little bit, see if we can fit a little bit more of the white in there. Just a little bit. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and try this idea I had. So I want to do, I'm going to go up. Okay, so this this is a little bit thin for this pattern still, I think. You could see the pattern itself, but it's not going to be textured. So I'm going to let it sit for a minute. And what we'll do while we're waiting is I'm going to put the white in one of these little bags. Since that little piece of soap dough over here, since that worked out so well, I think what we'll do is we will try that again. And all right, I'm going to scrape this off into here. And then we will try making soap dough out of this one also, just so that we could try some experiments with it later. Okay. Have to get it to sit up properly. Just a sec here. I think I'm going to try to use this towel to kind of prop it up. There we go. All right. Hopefully that's where you guys can see. There we go. That's better. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Hopefully you can see what's going on. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it, kind of tap it down, because I want the air bubbles to be out, but also because I want it to go all the way to the ends. That way there's no air pockets in there that will, dry out the corners or something. I don't think an air pocket would be enough to do any real damage, but just in case. And I forgot I could take my face mask off. Let me do that when I'm done with this. Okay, got that. All right, so we got most of it in there. It's looking pretty good. Okay, pretty good. So this will look really cute. I'm thinking maybe we can make snowflakes out of them, or stars or something would be cute. If the design I make with them is small enough, they could go on top of or mixed into any scented soap, really, and the fragrance wouldn't be enough to really be detected, I think. But I'm thinking of putting them into soaps where the scent will actually complement whatever they're put into. So that Victorian Christmas probably. Yeah, snowmen. Yeah, that'd be cute. Snowmen would be cute. But yeah, I think the Victorian Christmas, having a little bit of juniper berry or pine type scented soaps, balsam cedar scented, would totally complement that very, very well. And I don't think it'd be a problem even if it was noticeable. Okay. Struggling to do a basic task here. I tell you what, whenever you do something on camera, it's 100 times it's harder to do it correctly, no matter what it is. There we go. Because you're working around all of this equipment. I always feel really silly, but I know it's because I'm trying to keep it in frame and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I don't do such a good job, like those car freshies going out of frame for half the entire video. Okay, so you can see how like liquidy this is. And then we compare that to this, which is much, much firmer. So hopefully tomorrow it'll look like this as far as like the firmness. I'm gonna set this aside also. Okay. All right, let's see. That's already getting there. That's good. Okay, so am I feeling better? Oh yeah, actually I'll feel a lot better when I get this face mask off. Hang on a second. I mean face shield. I keep calling it a mask. I guess it sort of is. I am feeling a lot better. Yeah. I still have that tickle in my throat. I sometimes if I start talking, I'll start coughing, but it comes and goes. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, though. So thank you. Yeah, I am feeling a lot better now, and looking forward to getting caught up on everybody's videos too. Because when I'm not feeling well, I tend to, whoops. When I'm not feeling well, it makes it hard to, believe it or not, it makes it kind of hard to watch videos. You wouldn't think that would happen, but it does. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm using the fork to kind of measure how far up the bar I want to go. So that way it's the same width as the fork. And then I can go up that far. And then that sets me up to be in the right position to go this way. Oops, you got to keep it. The hardest part though is keeping the fork like level. If I'm dragging the fork at an angle like this instead of like perfectly square, then one side of then the fork won't come up far enough on one side. It's easy to fix, but it's just a pain. Okay, there's that. This. Actually, see, that could have come further. There we go. All right. This is actually a fun little pattern to make. I think when it's done, it looks more complicated than it really is. So you got your woven sweater. It's really, really cute. I was thinking of putting some like glitter or something on this, but honestly, I think because the scent is really gender neutral, and I'd hate to, make it glittery for people who don't like glitter. Kind of want to keep it the way it is. And I better stop messing with this. I was knocking down these little tips that are sticking up, but I think I'm going to end up messing up the pattern, which is the opposite of what I want to do. I'm going to leave it because otherwise I'm going to regret it. But yeah, that's how it looks. And I like the different shades of blue here mixed in with the white. I think it looks nice and icy cool without, I guess it's a little late to tap out air bubbles. But yeah, I think it looks nice and icy cool, but without it being like a super like glittery and sparkly. So hopefully you like this one. And I forgot to mark it, so when I pull it out, I'll have to check it before I slice and do it. But I think it should be fine. I'm gonna clean this, make it look nice. Oh yeah, so I gotta show you guys the thingy. I'm gonna clean this up real quick so that I don't have that overhang to trim off. And I'll set this aside, and then I will show you the thing that I was talking about. So let me go ahead. This is the final look before it sets up. Okay, so let me get these. Well, actually, let me make sure there's no soap or oil on here. Okay, get all this out of the way. This thing is not that big, but I don't want to risk anything. Unplug this. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. All right. Okay, so the thing. this is what I got in that order. One of the things that I ordered. It's the puffy paint that I use to decorate the freshies when I do like the glitter and the other designs, but this is glow in the dark because I wanted to put some kind of cool design on those stars, but I did not want the design to block the light or block the glowing, because if I use like white paint or whatever, it's gonna block the glow when the freshies glow. So I didn't want that. Um, Let me just grab the freshie. So here's one. Now I kind of don't want to add anything to this, but I want those rings. I want those rings to glow. So normally I dust them with glitter or something because it helps prevent the glue, or not the glue. I'm sorry, the paint from sticking to the little baggies that these are put in. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it'll like, how do I put it? The paint after it dries, it's still a tiny bit tacky, and then it'll stick to whatever you put it, whatever bag you put it in. And then to offset that, what I normally do is when I put the ribbon ties on it, I'll put the ties in the front to kind of like give it a little bit of separation. Um, yeah, you know who will love that. I know, right? And and let me just see here. So I have some glow in the dark glitter, but I used to sell it, and so I sold it all. I was like, oh, let's get that glitter, but I think I sold it all. If I didn't, and if I actually have it and I find it later, we can we can use that. But I think I actually sold all of it. And so instead, what we will use is some of this glow in the dark mica that we all know and love from Nurture Soap. And I will use, this is the paintbrush that I use to paint the beads for the freshies. And I'm thinking what might be cute is if I paint the beads. If I put beads on these, it might be cute to use the glow in the dark paint for that too. So even the bead will glow in the dark. So it'll be like a glow in the dark thing. Oh, this smells so good. This is the star showers. So of course it smells good. Okay. Um, we're gonna try, the way I usually do this is I take a little bit of glitter and kind of sprinkle it over the top um, of the paint. So I'm gonna get started with the paint real quick just so we can get moving here. Oh, I forgot to cut it has a plastic like seal and you have to cut it off and I always forget. All right, so anyway, of course with the mica, it's gonna make a huge mess if I do that. I'm gonna have to I'm thinking of using like the tip of the paintbrush to kind of sprinkle it over the top so I don't just dump it all over the place. And I'll also have to use that paintbrush to kind of brush it off afterwards. And now my box cutter isn't cooperating. Okay, we'll use scissors. I'm sorry I'm not doing this on screen. Well, I guess I can. I don't know how exciting it is to watch me cut open a plastic seal. I would have had this done beforehand, but it's almost invisible. And I completely forgot to cut this. And it doesn't have one of those easy tear seams. And yeah, so this is what I spend most of my time doing when I'm preparing for videos is nonsense like this. If I remember to do it beforehand, that is. Man, this is going to be like, see, normally if I'm pre-recording a video, I edit all this out because nobody wants to see this unless I'm wrong and they do. Okay. This by the way is a tiny crochet hook, and this is used with the freshies when I put the beads like through the ribbons and stuff like that and through the string. I have to use a crochet hook to thread them, but I need a tiny, this one is the size of this is it doesn't even have the letter on it, it's so small. It's just 2.5 millimeters. It's tiny. All right, I think I got it. Yeah, see, look at this. And it's like super thick plastic. It doesn't even tear. You have to like peel it off. The struggle is real. It is. I'm telling you, first world problems. Okay, let me get this off of here. All right. This should show you how see-through that plastic stuff is. We're down to the last bit. I'm going to end up stabbing myself if I'm not careful. There we go. What? That cut through. Okay, there it goes. Getting trolled by a piece of plastic. Come on. See, now it doesn't... Anyway, it might be enough to where I can open it, but it's overlapping in some places. Come on. I just had it. No, I cut through it, and now it's even harder to remove. How? How is this possible? Come on. It's like, no, it didn't fall. It's definitely there. I can see it, and I can feel it in that gap, so it's still not... Ah, jeez. How do I get myself into this? I'm telling you. Okay, maybe I can just... No. Oh my gosh, there's 2 layers! There's 2 layers. That's the problem. So this is the original, like, piece that went over here. There's a whole nother one. It won't even let me unscrew this. No way. I've never had one double wrapped before. Okay, luckily when I cut it earlier, that little notch I cut is still there. See, it's still... Wow. Well, recorded live. You know I didn't fake it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can feel the gap in there. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, geez. Okay. That explains everything. Okay, so first what I usually do is I find something that I can put some paint on to test it. All right, this is an old like instruction pamphlet from something. Okay, so this looks really good right out of the bottle. I mean, you can clearly see nothing. Let me put it up to the light and then see if the camera picks up the glow. Not with the lights on, it's not going to, whatever. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put the paint around some of these dark circles here to kind of highlight. Like, I kind of like how it looks like a planet. That is not... Now it's coming out at an angle. Might have to focus here. It's kind of funny because the paint is about the same color as everything else on this Freshie, and so it's almost hard to see. Almost. Okay. Okay, so there's the first one. And I need to check something really quick. Just give me one moment. Okay. All right, everything looks fine over there. Okay, I'm going to turn this and do the next one. Okay. And what I'm hoping is that when this glows, instead of those dark circles just looking like, oops, that did not cooperate. Instead of it just looking like dark spots, like on the surface, instead they will glow and it'll look like craters, like it's intentional rather than just a design on the paper. Okay. So first of all, there we go. I was gonna say we need to charge it, but before, actually we can do it. We have plenty of time before this paint dries. This paint takes about 24 hours to like fully dry, but I want to show you how it glows. I don't know if this is enough time in the light, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, that looks so much cooler. I like that much more. That's really awesome looking. Zooey just appeared and says, "Oh, hello, Zooey." Yeah, I like that a lot. That looks so much better. Okay, so I'm happy with that, but I don't want it to stick to the top of the what do you call it? I don't want it to stick to the bag, the inside of the bag. So what I'm going to do is use the same instruction booklet. Here's the paint. So I'm going to fold it, move this out of the way so I don't wreck it. I'm going to fold it inward like this. Okay, that way it doesn't, we don't have to risk it getting onto anything. All right, we'll put this here. And then I'm going to kind of get this loosened up a little bit in there. Okay. And just tap it over the top of where I've got these this paint. And then when the paint dries, it'll have this very light film of dust instead of the glitter. It'll just be like this glow dust over the top. That should give it enough of a barrier. In fact, I wonder if I can just I'm doing this to kind of flick it towards it. And then when I'm done, oh yeah, that's got a nice thin layer because this powder glows. And I thought of doing this with just like the regular paint, like using the white paint or whatever, and then just putting the glow powder over the top. But I didn't like that because the paint, if it's not glow in the dark paint, it's going to appear like a shadow. So you'd have this weird like shadow with glow dust on top of it. And I just didn't think that would look quite right. So instead we're doing it this way. The glow paint and the glow powder together to make an ultra awesome glowing whatever. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of a lot, but oh well. And then when the paint dries, I can take this little paintbrush here. It's got like soft bristles, and I can wipe off the excess glow powder so that it doesn't ruin the design on the paper, on the cardstock. There we go. I don't know if you can really see what I'm doing, but there. You can see the speckles all around. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of tap off as much of the extra as I can. So the big like clumps and whatever will come off, see? And then I can just pick it up. You can see there's some powder on there, some of the mica, and just put it right back in the jar. So that way it's very minimal waste. I can use it on the next one. So that is going to be my project here, is to put some glowing, hi Patty, welcome. To put some of this glow paint and glow powder on these. I might do the stars. I haven't decided how I want to decorate those. I'm going back and forth, but I know I need to do something because otherwise they're gonna. I mean, they actually look so cute plain. I kind of don't want to put anything on them, but anyway, I feel like they'd do better if they had some sort of decoration. Maybe that's just me. Oh, thank you, Patty. I'm glad you like the soap. We got the blue one. We got this one done. This is sweater weather. So I put like a kind of a sweater, knitted sweater pattern on top. And we're going to cut into that one on Monday. It smells so good. I really like this one. I like these new ones that I got. I like getting the small jars so I don't end up with like all this tons of extra leftover fragrance, but this smells really good. I might have to get a big one of that. And the same thing with the balsam cedar. I already got another big one of that because I know I'm going to use it in a bunch of stuff, so I'm super excited. So that's how this is going to once this dries, I'll get the extra powder off and it'll look better. Let me show you, now that I got the powder on there, I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to hold it up to the light and turn off the other lights. Let's give it a minute here. Okay. And that's how this turned out. So you can see how even with that powder on there, and since the paint is glow in the dark, you're not seeing, you're not seeing a dark shadow where the paint was because it's glow paint. And I think that looks really cool. It makes those dark spots look more like craters, in my opinion. But yeah. So that's how that will look. And then, yep. Anyways, whoops. There we go. All right. So once this dries, I'll go ahead and clean them off, and then we'll put the hardware on them, and then I'll put a bead. Like I said, I might do a glow in the dark bead. I'll see. I think I feel like there was something else. Oh, I remember it was the stars, but I'm not going to worry about that. So yeah, on Thursday, no, we are Thursday today. Monday we will cut the sweater weather soap. If you guys want to see how this turns out, let me know, and I can show you how those turned out as far as with the paint dry and all that. And let's see. Oh yeah, we will either be doing the 'Tis the Season or the Victorian Christmas on Monday because I like those a lot. I want to do one or the other. The tis the season one. Well, anyways, I don't want to discuss the notes of the fragrances. I'll save that for when we do. I just want to talk about it because they smell so good. I love the Christmas scents. They all have such happy and like they're just happy smelling, and they smell so good, but they don't like they have that same kind of feeling like when you smell like the baked goods. Like if you ever had like a candle that smelled like, blueberry cobbler or apple pie or something like that, and those kind of like feelings you get other than hunger. So it basically the Christmas scents kind of do that, but without the making you hungry part, which is why I like them so much. I think it's nostalgia maybe, or just I don't know, just really really good feelings. So I'm super excited to get those ones made. And then the Urban Winter one we will probably make last. I like that one too, but I'll tell you more about it once we go to make it. So I think everything here, unless I'm forgetting something, I swear I feel I just have this feeling like I'm forgetting to tell you guys something. Oh well, I'll put it in the notes if I remember, but it's probably not. It's probably just me spacing out. So yeah. So Monday, we'll be back Monday to do this. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a really good weekend, and I will see you all soon. Have a great night.